Hello everyone, Jab here from SVG Superstar and Cotton Make Crafts. Welcome. I am back after almost a 1 week gap. We went for a small holiday to Brisbane to attend a friend's wedding, which was during the time of floods, but thankfully we didn't face any of the complications with the flood. By the time we reached there, the water had already dried, and thankfully it didn't mess up with our schedule. So yep, it was an amazing holiday. I haven't enjoyed this much in quite a while. So it was amazing, and we're still kind of in a holiday mode. So it took me a couple of days to get back to work. So we're back here with our daily live sessions where I will be talking about everything about starting and running a successful six-figure SVG business. So today, I guess it is our day's 9th or something. Over the last couple of weeks, I have talked about what SVGs are, kind of the types of SVGs that are in demand right now, and what kind of SVGs you need to sell, how to get started with an SVG business, and the mindset shifts you need to overcome if you want to sell SVGs, and all those things. So if you haven't watched any of the previous videos, you can always catch them on my Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you can catch them on Facebook, on my feed. You can also find them on YouTube. So if you have missed any of those videos, just go back and watch them once this live is over. So today, I'll be talking about the number one thing you need to do before you start a business. The number one rule for entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur mindset, the most important thing you need for an entrepreneur mindset. So let's dig into it right now, because I get a lot of messages from people that say that I want to start an SVG business. I want to make money from SVGs. I want to earn extra cash, but there are some certain blocks that people don't talk about, and to be able to become a true entrepreneur, you really need to tackle those things. So today I'm going to be talking about that. All right, so for those of you who are new here, I am Jav. I teach creatives with a full-time job how to make extra cash from SVGs by just working 10 to 20 hours in a week, or one hour a day, just 1 hour a day, and make money on autopilot in your sleep. So if you are someone with a full-time job, whether you are a nurse or an attorney or a teacher, then this is for you. All these sessions are especially for you. So stay tuned and stay with me to learn everything about selling SVGs. So the number one rule for entrepreneurship is to make money out of nothing. That's an entrepreneur's job, to literally make money out of nothing. If you want to start a business, this is how you should get into the business. You need to learn to make money out of nothing, literally. That is your first job as an entrepreneur. The success of your business is dependent upon whether you can make money out of nothing or not, because at that point you have literally nothing in your life, right? You have no investment, you have no assets, you have literally zero funds to invest, right? So the first and foremost task for you is to make money out of nothing, to see how motivated you are to start this business. A lot of people want to start a business, but they just sit there and they cry about not having enough money. I've lost count of the number of messages and emails I've received, people saying, oh, I want to start a business, but I can't invest in coaching. I don't have any money. What am I going to do? Blah, 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 blah. Girl, get your act together and find a way to make money. That's your number one job as an entrepreneur. Because if you are not motivated enough to make money out of nothing, then you're never going to be motivated enough to run a successful business, to overcome all those uncomfortable moments that arise in running a business. It's not a smooth ride. Let me tell you this, it's not a smooth ride. You need to be motivated. You need to have internal motivation. You need to have an external motivation to start and to run the business, because while you're running a business, there are multiple instances where you have to face an uncomfortable situation, where you have to be uncomfortable and yet show up. Maybe you don't want to do live sessions. Maybe you don't want to show your face in a video tutorial. Maybe you don't want to create video tutorials because you don't feel you're good at it, but you have to do it by the end of the day if you want to be successful. So these are certain things that you need to keep in mind. When I started my online journey when I was in Saudi Arabia. That was like in 2009. That was ages ago. And back then, I didn't have a PayPal account. I didn't have a bank account. I had nothing. I just used to give tuitions to kids. And whatever money I made through my tuitions, through giving tuitions, I used that to invest in a blog. So that was my first gig. I was earning in Saudi Arabian currency, and I had to collect enough amount of money to start a blog, which costed $30 per year. And then I had to buy a domain name and whatnot. So where did I get the money to do that? I was how old was I? I was 15 years old and I was 17 years old, and I was giving tuitions, and whatever money I collected from tuitions, I invested that into my blog. So that's how I got started. And slowly and gradually, whatever amount of money I made from my blog, I reinvested it into my business, into getting into coaching programs, and that's how I climbed the ladder one at a time. And now I'm making 6 figures from my business. So, and I was in Saudi Arabia. I didn't even have internet. I used to borrow internet from my neighbors. So that is the true entrepreneurship spirit. That's the spirit you need to have if you want to become an entrepreneur. You have to somehow find a way to make things work instead of just sitting there and crying and whining about not having enough means. Like, if I was able to do it like ages ago, I don't know, that's like 10, 15 years ago, right now you don't have no excuses to not get into it, because you are now living in 2022. Almost everywhere you go, you have internet, right? And most of you are living in first world countries. US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You have internet, you have all the basic facilities, yet you are just sitting there and whining about not having enough. You got to make there's so many things you can do to collect the minimum seed investment. So it's totally, it comes from within you. Like, you need to have that internal motivation to get up and do the work. And I'm going to talk about some of the ways you can start making money so that you can invest in your business if you are literally broke as If you're just going to sit there and expect someone to give you free coaching or to give you freebies all the time, lower their prices, it's not going to work. Because every single thing has a price and people have bills to pay. So you got to get your act together and you got to get serious about starting a business. Let me share some stories with you guys, how people literally out of nothing turn into billionaires. So this is a story about a Syrian billionaire, Mohed El-Trad. So he was born in a household that's not like an everyday household. He was born in a nomadic tribe. So nomads are the people who just roam around and they settle for a couple of days in a place where there's water and stuff. And then they, again, keep roaming around. So they don't have a proper school system. They don't have anything. They live on a very limited resources. So this guy was born in a nomadic tribe, all right? So, and to make things worse, his mother died when he was very young, and his grandmother looked after him, and she banned him from going to schools. He wasn't allowed to go to school. But he didn't give up. He was so motivated. He still went to the school. He did really good, and then he got a PhD scholarship in France. And even then, even after he went to France, he didn't have a happy ending or something. He was struggling over there as well. He used to live on one meal a day. But once he completed his PhD, he was able to get a job in one of the companies, and he started collecting money. He started saving up, and eventually he bought his own company. And slowly and gradually started building his empire, which is now worth billions. So look at his history. He started from a nomadic tribe, which they don't have proper houses. They live in tents. They don't have schooling system. They don't have healthcare. They don't have nothing. And from there, this guy went all the way from literally zero to becoming a billionaire. So what excuse do you guys have? Another story of an entrepreneur. This guy was in the States. So he started his entrepreneurship journey at the age of 9. At 9 years of age, he was selling newspapers to support his family. Eventually, his mother got divorced and she wasn't able to afford all the expenses of him and his siblings, so she sent them to foster care. And after graduating from high school, to make ends meet, DeJoria, the name of the guy is DeJoria. He did many jobs, including being a janitor to selling insurance. He took up multiple jobs, and eventually he launched his own business with $700 loan, and co-founded a hairdressing company. And now this guy is worth $2.8 billion. So people, you will find countless stories of people making a beautiful life out of literally nothing. While you're sitting here making excuses. If you are able to watch my live video right now, if you own a Cricut, if you own a Cricut press, you have the means to invest in your business. You have the means to invest in knowledge. You have the means to start your side hustle. It's just that you are too comfortable sitting in your zone. You're just not willing to do the work. So instead of thinking that somebody needs to lower their prices or you don't have enough money to invest, you need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. Start thinking about the actual solutions that you have control over. Like, this is the number one characteristic of an entrepreneur. They learn to control their own situations rather than waiting for others to spoon feed them, rather than and waiting for others to hand them down stuff. You need to learn to take control of your solutions, of your situations. Something you can do yourself where you don't have to wait for others to give you freebies or discounts or things for free. So what can you do for yourself? This is the question you need to ask yourself. What can you do to fund your business? What can you do to get started with your business? Because just sitting there and thinking, oh, I can't do this, I'm unemployed, or I don't have enough money, will it will not solve the problem. It will not help you in any way if you're just going to sit there and whine and cry. Probably you're doing that for the past 12 months, right? So the first challenge is to make money out of nothing. So what can you do when you don't have funds? What can you do when you don't have enough money to invest in your business? Here are some things you can do to make quick cash, and you don't even have to do it all the time. You don't even have to do it full time. You just need to make enough so you can invest in your business. You can give craft lessons to adults and kids in your area. You can sell handmade items for a while. You can talk to your local Michaels or Walmart and see if you can give cricket lessons. You can use your cooking skills, cleaning skills, organization skills. You can use all those skills to make some quick cash. You can sell stuff that you don't need in your house. You can sell all those extra craft supplies that you bought. There, if you just walk in your garage right now, you can find a million different things that you can sell to make extra cash. You can sell your furniture. You can rent out your room. You can rent out your living room. I know all these things are very uncomfortable, especially when you have to rent out a part of your house. But that's what it's all about, to be uncomfortable enough to make the change, to make the money that you need to run a business. The number one step is to get uncomfortable, because if you don't get uncomfortable, you're not going to get anything. So instead of just sitting there and thinking, if you're unemployed, you obviously have a roof over your head. You're living in a house. So why don't you rent out a portion of your house to make money? You can offer cleaning services. You can reach out to banks for loans. You can turn your garage into an extra room and rent that out for a month or two. You can do Uber services. You can try out other delivery services. There's so much you can do to get that seed money instead of just sitting there and whining and crying about it. You can also reach out to your friends and family members to borrow a couple of bucks, then you can pay them off later. And this will also act as a motivation booster for you, that you have to make money, you have to work on your business and return that money to your friends and family. So you have to learn to make money out of literally nothing to be a true entrepreneur. Right now, you're just used to living paycheck to paycheck. The idea that your employer is just going to send you the money every single month. So this is the biggest problem when people are transitioning from a full-time job to starting their own business. Like when you are working at a day job, you get very comfortable. Every month, there's a fixed day of the month, you get your salary, you take that home, you spend that money, and it's done. All good. But when it comes to running your own business, you gotta take things in your own hands. You gotta be the boss. You can't just sit there and wait for someone to spoon feed you. No, you gotta stand up for yourself and assess your situation, what is going on around you, and what can you do to fix the problem that you're facing right now. So that's how it works if you want to start your own business. So I hope this helped you in tackling some of the mindset issues that you might be facing when it comes to starting your own business. And if you are interested in starting your own SVG business, check out my free SVG business success roadmap. It's completely free and you can get it from jeff.svg.superstar on Instagram. There's a link on my Instagram account. And if you're on Facebook and YouTube, check out the description and you'll find the link in the description to download and go through the SVG business roadmap. All right, so that is it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow with a very interesting poll that I just posted on my stories, and I'll share the results with you guys tomorrow. So stay tuned. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm going to talk about that in tomorrow's live as well. All right, so that is it from me for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.